For this tutorial, we will do exercise 2 of chapter 6, value, creating a 3D object using only value. We will start with our 957 by 596 default size, and we're going to create a new layer by clicking the new layer button. So on the toolbar, we're going to use the elliptical marquee and try and make a nice large circle. In order to keep the circle completely round, hold the shift key, release your mouse, release the shift key. So you always have a perfectly round circle. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use our default black and white, but you can use any color but you want to use a dark to a light value. Remember, we're dealing with value. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse my default because I'm going to make two elliptical shapes. So I'm going to put the black foreground, the white background, use the marquee tool, and I'm going to use the radial gradient. Then I'm going to click and drag from some point on the top to the edge of the gradient. So now we have our first, which isn't quite what we want yet. So now we're going to create a new layer. We have that. You'll see how this works out in the end. So we're going to create a new layer. Now we're going to flip the white and black. What we're looking for is the highlight to dark. So wherever you're going to click on your elliptical shape, that will be the hotspot where the light source will be coming from. So I'm going to click here around the same area and drag, and now you see a more three-dimensional shape. In order to enhance this shape, I'm going to go to Edit, Stroke, and in the color, I want black, but it's kind of hard to get a true black from the color wheel, so I'm just going to bring my cursor over into the background color black, and you'll see I have true black, which in hexadecimal is 00000006 zeros. So I'm going to hit OK. It's going to be on the inside of the circle, just 2 pixels, so we get that dark edge. I'm going to do a Control D. Now I have my circle. I could highlight a little bit more, so I'm going to go back to my default colors over here in the toolbar and toggle the white on top, get my brush, just a nice soft brush edge, and just kind of spray around a little bit right here, get it a little bit brighter. So we have that. Now I'm going to go back to that first elliptical shape we made. I'm going to do a Control T, and I'm going to squat it down, and what I'm going to do with this one, as you start to see, I'm going to make the shadow. Now you always want to put the shadow in the opposite direction of where the light source is. So if the light is here or you follow, then here's the highlight and then here's the shadow. You can always work a little bit more with the shadow, adding gradient to it if you want it more dramatic. But I'm going to double click and set that. The last part, remember, the negative space is never to be considered empty. So I'm going to pick a nice red color, always include it as part of your design, and with the gradient I'm going to go ahead and use the reflected gradient and click and drag. So now I have my exercise 2, which using value only to create my shape with the shadow. Now I would work a little bit more on the shadow, get it from darker to lighter, but this is just a tutorial. You will have more time to work on getting that shadow as you work with this exercise.